Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Pro Wrestling Tonight, right here on IndieQuebec.com. It's the Prez once again here with you, with my co-host, magnificent Drey Breeze. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you been, man?
Doing good, doing good. It's been a crazy week of wrestling. I watched a
Crazy.
lot.
So much wrestling to watch.
Yeah, man. Basically, so let's get right into it. Let's get into Dynamite, the show that everyone's talking about these days, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I
So it
guess.
started off really with an unexpected, well, it was semi-expected, unexpected bang. John Moxley comes back and does a promo. But I say that because he's already announced for the GCW pay-per-view this upcoming weekend. So would
Yeah,
it have made sense for him to come back on GCW before ever appearing on Dynamite, right?
yeah, on his main show. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The
where he's
main part
obviously
of.
getting paid more for sure.
Of course, of course, of course,
Yeah.
of course.
So he gives a really like heartfelt promo about his struggles, and he doesn't really get that much into it, but it's a really fired up promo. And I don't know, I think he's gonna do well if he's like refocused and stuff. And
I mean, I like him. He does some of the great promos because, like, his promos are basically him.
yeah,
You know what
that's
I
it.
mean? Like
He has an authentic character.
yeah, he just gets in and talks. Like that's a talent that he's always had. Sometimes his matches are good. Sometimes his matches are in my opinion. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I could do better, but
No,
he's
no, the
one of the
guy, no, but he yeah, he's not like a 5-star match every time kind of guy, but he's more of like a character. Like he's like a gimmick, but a realistic gimmick kind of.
yeah, exactly. He reminds me a lot of Tommy Dreamer in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Like a lot of ways that he's got no pizzazz about him. He's just a regular fucking dude that takes a lot of pain on a daily basis in his matches. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
to give you like entertain people. He's really entertaining, and his promos like this one that was on Dynamite was really good. Like it's just him talking. You know what I mean? Like that's what he's good at. He doesn't need scripted shit at all, which I think is what was fucking him up in the WWE a little bit back, and
Oh
that's what he
yeah,
didn't like.
definitely.
I think it's more that than anything they did with him in the ring because his matches were good there and stuff, you know, and he
He
was
was doing
used
promos like he was like a late night talk show host.
exactly, and that's not him. He just likes to get in the ring and talk like the dude that he is, a dude from, it is from is it Cleveland or Philly that he's
I
from?
think Cincinnati, I think something like that.
Yeah, he's from
Somewhere
Cleveland. Yeah,
yeah,
he's from Ohio, but
that's
yeah,
it, exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
that
that's it.
attitude.
He's like a more of a run of the mill guy. You expect more like a character like that. You don't expect him to have these kind of promos like a WWE scripted style promo, right? You know,
No,
like
exactly. Exactly. He's that anti-hero type dude. You know what I mean? Like he's
yeah,
not a good guy. He's not a bad guy. He's just a guy he's just a tough son of a bitch. You know what I mean? A real life tough son of a bitch. No muscles, no taekwondo, none of that. You know what I mean? Like technical stuff. Just a brawler, a real brawler. That's what he is, man. With
oh
great
yeah,
promo skill. Good way to open the show, you know. And
yeah, it
kudos to
was.
him for kicking his habits, you know, and being clean, you know. I bet I'm sure his wife and everything are really happy about that, you know.
No, for sure. That's the most important thing that he cleaned himself up because how many the wrestling business has had so many tragedies. You don't need more people like having problems. You know, at
Exactly.
least people are dealing with their problems in this day and age. That's a great thing.
Exactly. And he's a father too, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly. So then he does that doesn't really go anywhere, but it reestablishes him. So that's great. So our
it's
first
telling
match of
people
the night.
he's back, so
Yeah, no, no, for sure, for sure. It was a great segment for sure.
yeah.
But the first match of the night, it's Chris Statlander and Orange Cassidy taking on Britt Baker and Adam Cole in a mixed tag match. I'm not a huge fan of mixed tag matches overall, but this one was okay, but pretty forgettable.
I like mixed tag matches. And I know I'm gonna sound like an impact dude because that's what I am. I like it if it's a tag match that's like you get to slap a girl and the girl gets to slap the guy. I think that's a cool thing that Impact's doing that a lot of places on TV don't do. When they do mix or when they do a tournament and the girl decides to enter the tournament, it's not you're getting out of the ring and you have to get the guy in the ring, you know? No,
Yeah,
man.
that's more well,
Like
like the indies normally, like if they have a tag match, it's normally intergender, like how you were saying. And I think that
exactly.
that makes more sense. I guess, like, I don't know, is that taboo today or not? I don't know.
I got a lot of people still have that opinion that a girl's not as strong as a guy, and you know, which I mean, maybe most of the time, yeah, but now we're not talking about just a regular girl. You're talking about a girl who's an athlete who has fighting skills. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I
And
believe
like, I don't
anything.
know. I always thought about it in there's always that psychology. But what about like Mortal Kombat video games? There's girls in there. They can kick,
Exactly.
you know,
It can kill you. You know
like
what I
if you
mean?
look
So
at it
that's
from that perspective, you know.
exactly fighting skills. Like it's totally plausible if Nyla Rose got in a ring, which I don't know why it hasn't been done yet, against a smaller size guy like an Adam Cole, like one of the guys from the Bucks. These guys are not huge. So it's totally plausible that a girl that's 5'9", 5'10", with training skills could kick a small guy's ass. You
Sure,
know what I
sure.
mean? Like totally plausible. Jordan Grace, she's a professional body bench press lifter. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she can lift two,
I
300
mean,
pounds.
Ronda Rousey obviously could like
You know
do
what
some
I'm
damage
saying?
in there.
You know, what's her name? Paige Van Zandt or whatever? What's her name? The one that's on the top team with
Oh yeah, yeah,
Lambert.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she's fucking like she could kick my ass any
Oh, for
day
sure.
of the
That's
week
it. So
within
it's
1
not
minute.
like it's not entirely unplausible. And a lot of
Exactly.
people do share your opinion.
You know,
So
but that match, I mean, like
yeah.
this, no, no. And the whole table thing,
Yeah,
like
so
Britt
Cole and
Baker,
Britt get the win. And like at the end, Britt ends up going through a table and they're playing it off like she's hurt, but I think she wasn't. I don't know. Pretty
I don't
sure
know,
she
her
wasn't
head
hurt.
went off the mat. Her head hit the floor
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
little. Like you could see it in the replay. She didn't lift her head up and go in like it seems like she wasn't like I don't know, maybe the way it happened, she fell. Her head hit like did
Yeah.
it give her a concussion for real? But it hit. Like that's a definite.
Yeah,
Which makes
yeah.
me say to myself, is she going Mick Foley? Like has that match with Thunder Rosa that gave her match of the year? In my mind, Walter versus Ilya was a lot better.
Because yeah,
But
that bump that she took is like a trademark early Cactus back Jack bump, but with a table, basically.
exactly. You know, and it's like, what is she gonna do now? She's just gonna take bumps like that all the time. That's what she's always gonna be known as, the girl that gets cut, the girl that can take bumps. So
She's
she's gonna
building
do
up to get thrown off the Hell in the Cell one day. That's gonna be her
exactly.
crowning
You
achievement.
know, like Christ, whatever. I don't know. I like the Chris Stratler odd to British Bulldog by holding in the fucking suit in the fucking suplex up in the air, man. That was nice. And the whole
Yeah,
Orange Cassidy, just like you know how he does the little steppets like he's going through the ropes. That's the first time I've seen him do that. Like I see him do the fake kicks, you know, going through the motions, but like softly. But the
yeah,
little running in place, like he was going rope to rope and then just pushing with the finger, that was good. Like I was like, okay, that was funny. I like that. Good. You
yeah.
know. So
So we're probably gonna see more of these guys. Adam Cole against Orange Cassidy. They're gonna have, I think, a no holds barred match next week.
oh yeah, because Adam was mad. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like so pissed about losing. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like it wasn't a bad match. Everyone got to show off their skills, except like yeah, it was like a bit of a weird ending. Like I wasn't sure if she's really hurt. Is this like an angle for some reason?
Yeah.
Probably
Because
not.
it did kind of look odd at a couple places, you know, like
And they
you're
kept
like, oh,
filming
okay.
her. Well, like normally you
Yeah,
don't want to like, but you never know if it's a bad director or if they're like, we don't know what to film. It's live TV, you know.
exactly. Because it is
Sometimes.
live TV. And they've made a few mistakes over the weeks, you know,
Oh
because it's
yeah,
live TV, which is what happens when you do fucking live TV, you know,
that's
at
it.
the end
That's
of the
that's
day.
the fun of it too. Sometimes.
Exactly. You know, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
So then we got CM Punk against Sean Spears, the anticipated match, which lasted actually about like 30 seconds.
yeah, exactly.
But
Which is
like,
about as long as Sean Spears' entrance.
yeah, maybe shorter even. But like Punk, sometimes like he had a competitive match against like Lee Moriarty, but destroys Sean Spears here.
Yeah, who gets called by MGF? What is it? The Canadian god of professional wrestling?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah. Like, no, he's not.
no, by far, no. Like I can name you 10 guys wrestling now that are much better than Sean Spears. Not calling him out. He's really good, but
No, but
still,
I'm sure he
no.
knows himself that, like, hopefully he
Exactly.
knows. But
Nice buttering it up there though, but yeah.
hopefully they come to Canada eventually.
That would be good. I mean, there's so many Canadians on the roster, hopefully.
No, that's it. Like, there's a lot of Canadians on the roster.
Exactly. Montreal, there's Quebecers on that roster. So
Yeah,
who knows?
yeah. I hope it would be cool if they did Toronto, maybe Ottawa, Montreal, something like that.
Just even like just the fact that if they would come to Montreal, because I mean, besides WWE, like did Ring of Honor came once, I think. Did they
I
come
think
here?
they
No, it
came
was Ring of Honor.
twice. They came twice, but it didn't have a great audience.
Exactly. Impact never
Impact
come.
has not come in like 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And
yeah, there hasn't been any big American companies beside WWE coming here. That's a great point. In quite some
exactly.
time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
So that
fans
would
here
be
would. There's a lot of AEW fans.
It would sell out. I sincerely think it would probably sell out. Yeah.
If they could get, if they put a good card together, Montreal fans, they'll go for a big hype card,
Exactly.
And
But you know
maybe
what? Impact, now that they've got Mike Bailey and PCO, if they came, I'm not saying the Bell
maybe not
Center,
the Bell Center, yeah, but
they could probably pack this one of these big auditoriums. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Maybe the one in Laval or something. You know what I mean? They could probably get 5 to 10,000 people now
no, for
that they've
sure,
got
for
Bailey,
sure.
PCO, and the other people that are there that are well known, which they do have a lot. You know, so.
And Impact, you can see the Impact pay-per-views in the French feed on Fight TV, and it's Handsome GF and Marc Blondin who do
On
the
top of it,
commentary.
yeah.
Yeah.
And in Russian, it's what's his name that used to be in
Alex
WWE?
Kozlov?
No, Oleg, the big dude, the really big one, Oleg. What was his name? He wrestled
Oh.
at the beginning of the 2000s. Volkov.
Oh yeah, he had like a shaved head. He was a tag team with Santino Marella at some time. Victor
Yeah, he was like
Kozlov.
Victor Kozlov, man. Victor
I
Kozlov
knew he
is
had
the
gone into acting. I didn't know he was into
yeah
commentating.
yeah he is. Well, for their pay-per-views, it's him. So
In Russian. That's crazy.
yeah.
So then we get this was a pretty wild promo. I want to know your opinion on this. The Cody promo. At one point, I thought he was like gonna turn full heel during this promo.
And then he ruins it by saying, "That's why I'll never turn heel."
Yeah, yeah, he literally says it. But he like name drops like CM Punk. He's like comparing himself to CM Punk. He says he did whatever the Pipe Bomb promo was about. He did it. And at one point, he says like Jay Lethal, like no one gets up from that diamond cutter or that cutter. I thought that was like a shot at Jay Lethal for some reason. I don't know.
I didn't know if it was a shot directly at Jay Lethal or if he was breaking kayfabe by saying, because to me, his whole promo seemed like he was breaking kayfabe, then he came back, and then he would break kayfabe and talk about real shit, and then come back, like the contract, like he mentioned it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then he talked about the door and about how he's the one who opened the door, meaning not him, not Tony Khan. He started it by organizing things before Tony Khan came in. Because he went to Impact, because he went to Ring of Honor, because he went to the NWA for the NWA title and all that wazoo stuff. So it was like he was like breaking kayfabe and like pinpointing things that fans keep chirping about. He was basically shutting up the haters by answering all of the hate online. Like he was like, oh, and this is that, and that is this, and I did this, and at the same time trying to start a feud with CM Punk, seems like, by
Yeah, it could
shooting
be
out the
going
pipe
that
bomb.
direction.
You know.
Yeah, it was a good
And
promo.
then
It
comes
was a
back
very
to
good
the
promo, I would say.
super good wrestling promo. Perfect wrestling promo. Because non-scripted. Once again, non-scripted. completely just him speaking promo,
Yeah.
feeling the crowd, the best. It was good. Yeah. It was one of the highlights of the night.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess at this point he's gonna be like maybe not a 100% face or heel, but he's definitely gonna be like a main eventer, and like half the
He's a
crowd
fit.
might like
Yeah.
him,
Yeah. Yeah.
half might not.
Exactly. Well, that's pretty much always been his career,
Yeah,
so
yeah. He's never had like the full, well, maybe only like maybe at the beginning of AEW, but at the beginning of AEW, all the like founder guys had like the full support of the fans. But
yeah,
then like
exactly.
his support really went down quick when the fans started like seeing how like he's shining the spotlight so much onto himself.
Exactly. It's like he accepted, he's putting himself in people's face too much. Like it's nice to be seen. It's not good to be overseen.
Overexposed. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because then you're just like too much, It's like, oh
Yeah.
God, So that
And
I
the other
think that's
guys
been
could
the
use
problem.
some spotlight too.
Yeah, exactly. They got so many people that are backstage
I
now
mean,
that are complaining, so
they have so many wrestlers who would be more interesting to have a reality show about. Like, don't you think a reality show about like Darby Allin would be more interesting than like Cody living in the suburbs with his hot wife? Like, okay, good for you, man. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like really.
Darby
Like
Allin
just
is like chilling with the jackass guys, going crazy and shit.
exactly.
I'm
Like it
sure.
would have been better if he had just done one of those things on the Fight Network. What are they called? Where they follow them for like what it's
Yeah,
one
like
hour.
a
Like
documentary there, like a yeah, I
yeah,
know what you mean.
those things. Like do that, man. That's it. That's more than enough of what we need to know about you and your wife and what you do in your spare time.
There you go.
That's it.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
whatever. That's Cody, but good for wrestling. Good Cody.
Yeah, I mean, look, if people like it and they get into wrestling, what wrestlers are really getting it's it might be like a renaissance, but it's really back in the mainstream. Like you see a lot of wrestlers appearing in movies, of course, with The Rock and all that, but a lot of other ones and shows.
Yeah, it really is. So now they're really scrutinized for everything they do. Once they're at a certain level, people are really involved in their life and what are they doing and who are they? And then, and a lot of guys are like, whoa,
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
for sure.
Whoa, you know.
That's it. And then some guys like they kind of like they don't necessarily want to be in the Hollywood light, or they're like more private, or they do their own thing, but then always the truth comes out anyways. Like example, like Matt Hardy, like all the craziness
Exactly.
that's gone on, the drama in his life, but he's like just a guy who like chills at his house, but like still, he's not out there in
That's what I was
Hollywood.
saying.
But
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
yeah,
Matt Hardy. Speaking of Matt Hardy,
yeah, he
that,
makes some kind. This was a weird promo. There, Matt Hardy, the Matt Hardy family are backstage, and he gives Andrade like shares in his company.
yeah,
What did you make of this?
it doesn't make sense. It's stupid. Even the Hardy family does not make sense anymore. When it was him taking two young cats, and pushing them like he did, he brought them to Impact. They challenged. I think they won. They won the tag titles, brought it back to AEW. That was good. That's what he is, a heel manager, two guys. Why is the Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny there? And now Andrade, and now this, it's just stupid. It's
They've
like,
even
okay,
had
now
like
it's
he's had other guys like randomly with him like here and there.
exactly. It's just too much. It's stupid. It's like, okay, drop it. Like, and it's like they're just trying to put people for TV time. Okay, now you're on TV. Okay, you're here. We need you for something. Let's just put him in the Hardy family. Oh, let's just put him in that segment.
Like
I'm
what's gonna
sitting there
happen?
going,
Like they're pushing Andrade obviously to a certain extent at least. What's gonna happen during his matches? All the Hardy guys are gonna come out. Like, oh my god, this is like
it's stupid. And then now they're gonna get Jeff Hardy back. Apparently, I don't know. He might sign.
yeah, he'll probably end up there. Like I would see that for sure. But then like I'm pretty sure if Jeff Hardy goes there, then like they'll just scrap like this whole storyline right away. Like
Exactly. Everybody will turn on Matt. He'll be stuck in the ring, and Jeff will come to console him. The music pops. Oh, and then he'll become Delete because he wants to do the Delete character. He said it recently that it's a great character, but he couldn't do it because it didn't work when there was no fans. But now there's tons of fans.
Hopefully
So
we do
now
see
it's like
that back.
now he's gonna have to find a way to make him go nuts. Something's gonna happen to make him lose it totally again and become, you know what I mean?
Yeah, back to the crazy Matt Hardy, who we all
Yeah,
love.
back to exactly that everybody loves to see, So
Yeah, because right now, like this Matt Hardy family thing is just a waste of TV time at this point, I must say.
exactly, that's exactly what it is. It's just
Yeah.
a mashing of a bunch of people to put them on TV. You know what I mean? Because I don't know,
No,
man.
that's
They
it.
got
Just like it's just a placeholder right now for these guys while before they find any like actual storylines for them.
exactly.
So we
That's what
got
it.
Frankie Kazarian taking on Lance Archer, who comes up with Dan Lambert and Jake the Snake.
Yeah,
Lance
the
Archer
promo.
pretty much wins easily. But yeah,
Well, of course,
go over it with the promo and everything.
the promo from Jake the Snake, amazing. Right there, right off the bat, he's back, Jake. And then you realize at what point he is a big man
Oh yeah.
standing next to Lance Archer and standing next to Dan Lambert in the background. And then you realize, God damn, this man is 60 something years old and he's still that big. Like I didn't realize how big he was.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
because
I met him
when you,
actually on I think it was my 29th birthday. Actually, like right on the day, he did a like a speaking like a stand-up comedy thing in Montreal. And I got to meet him and I got a picture with him. Yo, he is huge. He's just like one of the biggest people I've ever met for sure.
yeah, exactly. Because probably sometimes they boost a little bit of statistics up, like a guy that's 6'3", 6'5",
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you see Jake and you're like, Jesus Christ, man, because his dad was
Oh
a
yeah.
big man. So then you realize how big he is. You're just like, God, man, his hands,
That's
Jesus,
it. And
like,
even now, like when he was younger, like he was like a bit thin, you know. But now, like
yeah,
he's like even like he's filled out even. So the guy's got to be like 300 pounds.
exactly,
Like
exactly.
easily.
That's it. Because back in the day, he was so thin on TV, he looked like a mid because he was a mid Carter, so he was more thinner guys. The big guys were taking on Hogan and all of that, and Andre, and he always looked small. But those guys are really
No,
huge,
yeah, like
But
it's
then
like those guys were like ridiculously huge.
exactly, ridiculously buffed up and stuff, So now that you see him though, you're like, Jesus Christ, man, he's just as big as Lance Archer.
That's
Like,
it. Yeah, he looks like he could be his dad, which like really does work in a way, you
yeah,
know.
exactly. Yeah. Perfect fit because Lance is not that good on the mic. He's okay, but you know what I mean? To have that
Yeah.
dude who's the best in the history of wrestling, probably only Raven and Flair probably stand up to him in promos and stuff.
Oh
Maybe
yeah, he
Cactus
was
Jack,
great.
but like, wow. And then Dan Lambert's promo later was still amazing.
Exactly. They're gonna be like an interesting group if they stick together to watch.
Yeah,
For sure.
you just want to see them to hear them talk. You're just like, no, these are bad
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
So Lance Archer is going. He looks like it's gonna be him against Adam Cole coming up for the title. Not
Yeah,
Adam Cole.
Adam Page,
Adam
yeah.
Page.
And you know what? They might put it on him,
They might. I mean, Adam
like just for maybe
Page.
is the best face in the world, but you never know. Because, like I said, you like the face to chase after the title.
There you
If you
go.
don't want the face to be champion too long, like they might cheat. Dan Lambert has something up his sleeve. He's not just there for nothing. Like what, like a guy needs two managers. That
No,
don't
yeah,
make sense.
really.
So obviously Dan Lambert's working something up. There's going to be an angle. There's going to be a setup somewhere. Something's going to happen that's going to screw Page out of his title, and then he's going to have to fight Lambert's boys, get that out of the way to go back for the title. Now Archer might have it and lose it right away to somebody else bigger in the back and take that away. It might just be a way to take the title off Page because they gave it to him because he deserves it for being there so long and all of that. just to give it to somebody else that they feel might be bigger face for the company. You know, maybe a Bryan Danielson, CM Punk.
That's it. They
You
have
know,
Danielson and Punk now. These guys, I mean, they're both going to end up holding that title sooner rather than later.
exactly. So to me, it seems like it's something like this. Like it's this weird type of setup. You know, it's going to be like a skip thing.
You know
You
what?
know.
I feel like Jericho is going to end up holding that title again for some reason too.
I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. Like I like Jericho, but enough is enough. You know, like if people are sick of Cody, you could almost say the same thing for Jericho in a
Oh yeah.
certain way.
I think
It's just
Jericho could be due for like a good like prolonged break, you know.
exactly, or just him like saying exactly, just sitting there and being a commentator
Yeah,
on
yeah.
one of the other two shows.
And
Like
then come up with
he's
something
good.
totally new. Let's see. I don't want to see him with the Inner Circle anymore.
Oh well, I think that's going off too. Like that's you could tell what they're doing with Sam. Well, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what that's heading to.
Yeah,
But yeah,
basically. So we got Malachi Black and Brody King defeating the Varsity Blondes. What did you think about this match? We finally see Brody King in action.
well, he is Brody King, yeah. That's some next level dude, man. He's a menace, and together they are an amazing. What a perfect tag team!
Yeah,
What a
yeah, yeah. They
perfect
looked great together. What did you think
man.
actually, just to go back because I forgot about that. What did I just remembered. What did you think about what Cody said in his promo about Brody King having the name Brody in AEW?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a diss
No, that's it. I was like, is that like criticism or is that like
or it's better like you better step up to the plate because you have the name Brody. But it's like, yeah, but that's like calling out everybody on the planet that has the name Brody. So you can't use the name Brody because you know what I mean? It's like because of Brody Lee. It's like I don't it was his name before you signed him.
yeah, yeah, that's it. He
If it
wasn't
was a
like
problem, why'd you sign him? Like, you know, like
yeah.
I don't know.
And they have Ethan Page, Adam Page, they have like a bunch of Adams, just Adam. They have a bunch of repetitive names in the company already.
Have a it's because they just have a bunch of people. They're
No,
basically
yeah, it's
signing
like a
everybody but
school. Like
musicians.
when you have that many people, of course, there's going to end up being a couple repetitive names. Same thing there.
Exactly. You know, I see no problem with it. I see a tag team that's amazing, that can be a dominant force for years to come in the wrestling business. Sometimes two guys that were very, very good single wrestlers turn out to make a legendary tag team. Or in a tag team that people would rather see them as a tag team. I mean, look for
Yeah,
example at Carl Anderson and Gallows, two guys that had careers as single wrestlers, but they're now known as a tag team. And they sign as a tag team when they go places now. But it's
yeah.
two guys that
People
had
want to
two
see them
completely
as a team.
exactly. It's two guys that had two completely different careers, solo careers, you know, titles for Anderson as a solo wrestler. I don't remember if Doc held any in any federation as a solo wrestler. I know he had a lot of pull and was in big matches, but I don't know if he held a title as a singles
I
wrestler,
don't
but that's
think.
the same example.
I
You
believe
know,
not.
I see these guys being able to stay together like and it's two guys that haven't been able to make it to the top as solo wrestlers, although people like them. So maybe as a duo, they could just be one of these
It'll be a
legendary
good
tag.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And they'll have great matches for sure.
Exactly.
And yeah, then like the House of Black. Maybe the House of Black will keep growing as well. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah,
Maybe they'll
because
add
then
Abaddon. Maybe she can like follow them around.
oh my god,
Would that be
yeah,
bad?
that would be bad. I'd rather see.
It's like that
I'd
would be
rather.
bad.
I'd rather see Sin Bodhi with him. You know what I mean?
Oh
Something
fuck,
like
Sin
that.
Bodhi.
You know what I mean? It would be a better match but I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna probably take some wrestler that you don't see as much, you know what I mean? Somebody and make him turn dark. You know, a lot
Yeah,
of
that would
times
be
they'll
cool.
take a face guy and make him come out and make him completely different. Take a guy that's always wanted to be a heel, like somebody who's a good face, but that's fallen off and he's always wanted to be a heel. You know,
Yeah,
there's
someone
probably
who
one of
needs
those
like an
guys.
updating. That's a good idea.
You know, that's what I would do. and that's even a better pop for people, especially somebody you haven't seen in a while. And then he
Mhm.
comes out, you're like, oh, make him come out as a good guy. And everybody's like, yeah, yay. And, he does the turn right there, bang, a chair to the face, something like that.
Yeah, a good heel turn. Everyone always
Exactly.
likes it. Like a good unexpected heel turn is
A
like
good
one of the best
unexpected
things
heel
in
turn.
wrestling.
And when people boo, that's when it's even better. When the people boo because they're so mad
Oh
that the
yeah,
guy turned heel, then your job is accomplished, my friend, to
yeah,
the maximum.
exactly. So then we get Serena Deeb defeats Sky Blue rather easily, but Serena Deeb is like on another level. I think you were saying it last week as well. I'm gonna say it
Yeah.
again as well. She's like probably like the best women's wrestler in the company.
Oh, she is. She is. She is. You know what I'm saying? Well, equally maybe Thunder Rosa. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
but
I'm
it's
not saying undisputed there. Yeah, Thunder like
it's
she's
different time,
definitely in the
different style.
conversation.
Yeah. When I see Serena Deeb, I see Deanna Perazzo. You know what I'm saying? I see that like she does the same types of things. The little things that make you go, that's a wrestler.
Yeah,
The whole the wearing down of an opponent. There's not enough of that in wrestling anymore. Like if you want your wrestling match to make people go, God damn, and she's beating the shit out of her. Like the grabbing of the arm, the joints, the popping, the stepping on the
like
face, the
started
stepping on the
slow and then really beat the crap out of someone
beat the crap out
visually.
of them.
It makes the person be like, that really looks like they're beating the crap out of them.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Stepping on the fingers. The person's crawling on the ground because they're in pain. Just going up to them, stomping the fingers. Bang. Then you're like, damn, the
And if it's
cracking of the
done right,
fingers.
it's like it's not dangerous. I mean, you might
Oh,
even
you
get
can
a better
make it,
reaction doing that than doing like a reverse Rana, which could like kill somebody.
which and it's done by everybody all the
Exactly.
time. And
Exactly.
like one out of every two times it's done, poorly executed, slowly executed, and it's just do simple things. And
That's
then when
it.
you do a big thing and you do a big dive and you do a dive like Darby Allin does, just completely throws himself into the ring, then you get that amazing pop even better. And people
Yeah,
go,
it
this
means
person
more.
is a general in the ring. You know what I mean? A general in the ring, leading it. And that's what Serena Deeb does. She
Oh
gets in
yeah.
the ring and she leads that match. And it makes you want to watch her. You're like, damn, I actually want to watch this title match. I
Yeah,
actually want to see her.
I'm getting into her character. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with her next. Definitely.
Good for her
So
because she went through some bad times when WWE let her go, and to
yeah,
have her come back and shine at that point, to show everybody all those years that she was just like, her life wasn't together and she was going through stuff or whatnot, like how good she is and
yeah.
how big of a star she should have been. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
she didn't
So,
even ever really. This is like the biggest chance she's ever got. She never really got an opportunity.
no, exactly.
So
No. So,
she's shining for sure. So the main event was the Acclaimed versus Sting and Darby Allin. I must say that I really like the Acclaimed's
are they?
pre-match
They're great.
rap, and even
Yeah,
they made a music video online.
I love it.
It was hilarious.
I I'm playing it all the time. I'm playing it all the time, man. Two grown men going through a golf phase. It's amazing.
Yeah,
And
it's
then when
hilarious.
I saw Sting and Darby come out with the music and the snow, it made me laugh even more. Instead of I can't take them seriously anymore since the Acclaim made that song. It's like they're a joke to me now. It's like, wow,
Like
man.
two guys going through, yeah, like they're like the goth kids from South Park.
Exactly. Man, the Acclaim are awesome. Like for real, hands down, one of the best teams, like overall, like wrestling, promos, just how they are, man. Like in all of wrestling, out of all the companies, these two young guys, man,
They're
they're
making the
really good.
most of it these days for sure. They're really
And I really hope that they don't break up. I really hope that this team stays for years to go and that they win titles wherever they are, man. They are awesome. And they represent the young kids of today.
that's
Like
it.
when he's coming out and he's doing rhymes, like he's doing battle rap rhymes to them, the people are going, oh, oh, like he's got great, like Max Casper is a sick rapper. Like
He's better
he
than
could put
like
on,
John Cena, and it worked
oh
out
my God.
amazing for John Cena. So
And John Cena was a good, like I heard his album, like he's worked with good rappers. Like he's an okay rapper, but it's because it's John Cena. You don't take him seriously
that's
because
it.
he came out as a wrestler first. Had John Cena came out as a rapper first, rapping like he raps, he would have been like John
Maybe
Cena's the
taken more seriously. If he would have like
yeah,
maybe had like some tours like not involving wrestling or something or some,
exactly.
you
But
know,
the whole persona with the big clocks and the shirts and the you can't see me takes away the credibility to his hip hop side and
right,
his
exactly.
seriousness of it. As to Max Casper, it's not a joke. You know
Yeah,
what
the
I
guy
mean?
has talent. Like you can't deny his talent.
Yeah, exactly. I love him. I
He
want to
has a
see
great
more of the
shape.
acclaim.
I think his dad was an NFL player too. So the guy's like got
Something like that.
athleticism.
Yeah, and Bowen too. Something about Bowen too, but he was good. He's good too.
Yeah, they fit well as a team. I like he comes up with like a boombox. It
Yeah,
completes the
he really does. And he's the hype man. The other one's the rapper, and he's the
yeah.
clown, the hype man. You know, it's perfect, perfect duo. I
So
hope we see a lot more of them.
yeah. So yeah, Darby gets injured early in the match, but like I guess this was in storyline. So they make Sting wrestle like half the match alone. And like
And he's out of breath.
yeah.
Poor guy. He's
Like
out of breath.
hopefully
I
they don't
love
make
him.
him do this too often.
Like I love him. I respect him to the highest degree, and I would tell him to his face, but he's doing too much. And when you're that age and people can fucking boo me all they want or whatnot. He's a great wrestler. He knows what he's doing, but he's slow. Tommy Dreamer is the same thing in Impact. Stop wrestling because you're slow, and we can tell because it's TV. If I'm in an indie show and you're that slow, it's not as bad. It doesn't look as
Everyone's
bad
like
when you're
into it or whatever. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly. The ambiance is there, and you're like, oh, cool. You know, I'm watching Sting wrestle.
Yeah, on TV, really like look at it with a critical eye here.
Exactly. On TV, the camera angles, I'm just like, man, come on, man, come on. And then
He
to have him jump through a table
yeah,
at six
exactly. He does
whatever,
another table dive.
which means he almost injured himself. Probably, he probably is injured. I'm guarantee you, he has ice today. He's in
For sure,
ice
he
today.
can't walk properly. He
Guarantee.
has to like ask
You
his wife, like, honey, do you mind like doing the groceries this week? I can't like walk around the grocery store today like this, you know.
seriously, and he went through that table awkwardly. Like he awkwardly went through that table, like a
Yeah.
grandpa would go through a table. Look at this, buddy, what I could do. And grandpa, no, bang,
Well, I
that idea.
understand this was like a TV main event. It is so like that's a big thing. I'm not gonna discredit that, but like he put in enough work in this match that like that could have been like 5 matches worth of work that he put into this match. That they could have
Exactly.
like, you know, the guy's not gonna be around forever.
He's
One
not.
bad move and like that's it for Sting. We all
And
know
it's
that.
taking mileage off of him. This is taking a couple months, a couple, more matches off of his body.
For
An
sure.
unnecessary table. It's not a pay-per-view. And why are you having them beat the Acclaim already? You have the Acclaim all hype up, make a rap video, which is something you would wait and build up more on to the pay-per-view. No,
Yeah.
let's make them lose on Dynamite. So what, you just squash this, so that's over. That's it. This is it. That's it. You know what I mean? On
Unfortunately,
to
yeah.
the
It doesn't look, I
on
mean,
to
the Acclaim, they get to be in the main event, but like, yeah.
the main event of Dynamite. Good for you, son.
Yeah, they didn't stand much of a chance, like all things considered. So yeah, so it was an okay episode of Dynamite. I think like we were saying, like this is actually weird for Dynamite, but like it was more strong on the promos than the wrestling. And normally it's like way the opposite, I would say.
Exactly. I mean, great promos also during the House of Black. Pac. That was a
Oh
good
yeah,
promo.
Pac's promo. Almost forgot about that, but it was very good.
I can't wait for Pac to come back. He's an amazing talent. His character is sick. He is, yeah, what a great anti-hero also, like Moxley. You could like him, you could not like him. He doesn't care. He's not there to be a heel. He's not there to be a good guy. He's there to kick ass and take names and go on and get his
Yeah.
point through. One of
Yeah,
the
there's gonna
most
be
under
that could be very interesting. I hope they really really make it a deep, because it looks like it's going to be like a deep storyline. You know what I mean? Like psychological.
Yeah, exactly.
storyline.
It's like they were trying to get him to join House of Black or something. So who knows how that's going to go down. And it was kind of like he was making it sound like you were trying to recruit me, but I'm the one who's going to finish you guys or whatnot. You don't know what you mess with, blah, blah, blah. It was pretty good. And the whole, you know what I mean? The way it was filmed and set up and everything, it was really good.
Yeah, Pac, he gets like his own style of promo. I don't know how to explain that. He always gets like a big budget kind of promo, which is like
a vignette.
You know what's bizarre? It's almost like the guys are producing their own promos. And if they are, like, I kind of feel bad for the guys who don't know how to do that, and that's like super unfair, man. But like,
yeah, it is.
It almost feels like that. It almost feels like Cody. He's producing his own promo. He's like, well, I'm gonna make it super good. I'm fucking rich, so like that's why his promos
exactly
are so good.
Is that and his entrance, which takes like 20 minutes. You know what I mean? With the fire and everything,
rising up to the stage and everything.
Exactly. But yeah, maybe that is what they're doing. Who knows? That's a strong possibility. It would explain a lot.
Yeah.
So. Oh yeah, and Roppongi Vice are together again.
Yep. It seems
Trent
like
Beretta and Rocky Romero. I don't know where. The best friends couldn't do the job, so now Roppongi Vice. It's like,
yeah, it
okay,
seems
I like
Trent is like gonna be apart from best friends.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know. I think they might be separating the best friends.
Yeah. Once they added the Yuta guy, like it's getting to be pretty big, like a bit too many, maybe.
Exactly.
Too many people. I don't know. The Yuta guy he's fine so far, but I mean, he's a bit random.
Isn't it funny though how it's like their New Japan Wrestling from 2015?
Yeah, now they're so those guys are going to be taking on the Young Bucks.
And then Red Dragon. So it's like Red Dragon, the Young Bucks, Roppongi Vice. Who are they going to get? Are they going to pick up the Good Brothers when their contracts finish again? Or are they going to pick up the Bullet Club? And then it's like, Omega, Adam Cole, Finn Balor, who's not doing too much in WWE. When is his contract up? I heard they're sick of trying to push him. Then Finn's going to show up. And then it's going to be like, I'm watching New Japan 2015. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it is starting to feel very reminiscent of that. But that was a very popular time in New Japan, though.
It was a very popular time for people who alternative wrestling to the WWE, basically.
Yeah, indeed.
Like, real connoisseurs watched that era of wrestling. Great matches, amazing match. Yeah.
Yeah, I would suggest people go back and check it out. It was really, really good stuff.
Really worth the time. Yeah, really worth it.
So let's get into some Impact news, or basically let's get into some Quebec news first. So Quebec wrestling, the indies, still no news, but as stuff is opening back up, like the schools, probably will have some news soon-ish.
I'm saying by springtime we'll have some wrestling events probably.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So big news, Lufisto, which we already mentioned this, but we'll mention it again. This Saturday is going into the Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Put on by GCW. It's going to be streamed live on the GCW YouTube page on Saturday. The other people going in are Tracy Smothers, Dave Prazak, Homicide, Jerry
Homicide.
And Ruckus. Remember Ruckus?
Yes, Ruckus. Ruckus is awesome. Isn't he in the NWA though now, Ruckus?
Yeah, well, he's made some appearances, yeah.
Yeah. He's in the NWA. He's really good. I never understood why he never got a contract like with Impact or with Ring of Honor, and they did. I never understood that. Like he's a really good wrestler. Great promo guy. Maybe controversial.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like in those days, I remember him back with B-Boy and stuff like that when he was in Ring of Honor. Made some Ring of Honor appearances.
Because the CZW was working with Ring of Honor.
Exactly. More known for Also
the invasion.
CCW, of course. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, Ruck.
yeah, that'll be great for LuFisto. She's gonna get some recognition. Of course, goes without saying that we respect her tremendously here at indiequebec.com, and we're gonna cover that event on Saturday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I don't know, did you catch Impact this week? Mike
Of
Bailey,
course,
he picked up a big win versus Jake something on Impact. So Mike
that was
Bailey
a good match.
undefeated. Yeah, let me know. Tell me about the match.
It was really good, and they had Ace Austin and Madman Fulton
On
on the
commentary, right?
on commentary because D'Lo was taken out by the Ring of Honor guys, which was pretty good. At the beginning of the show, they showed up. They took out D'Lo, which makes me wonder if the rumors are true. I know Impact offered a contract to William Regal. Tommy Dreamer called Regal up and gave a contract offer to Regal to come in as an announcer, a commentary, I mean, or a notable figure on TV, like the general manager or the person who's going to be in charge of order. Basically, what Scott D'Amore is doing that he probably doesn't have time to be doing right now when you see him on TV.
Yeah.
But they took out D'Lo, and then Tom was stuck doing the rest of the show with different wrestlers as it went
Yeah.
on.
I
So,
like that
which is
format
what
sometimes.
yeah, it is. It's pretty good. It's a good angle to go, and it's
If
always
they end
cool
up
when
throwing a
wrestlers.
guy out there who sucks though for like one match, it's bad, but like you never know.
Yeah,
That's like
yeah, exactly. Some guys are there and they don't talk enough. But when Brian Myers was there, it was really good. Because and I like the way he acknowledged that him and Tom knew each other from the WWE. Hey Tom, how you doing? Good to see you again. Welcome.
yeah.
Yeah. Which I thought was pretty good, and how he didn't care what was going on in the ring with Zicky Dice, who basically got squashed totally, and VSK by Morrissey, which was pretty damn good. He was like, "Oh, they're getting their ass kicked again." Like I thought that was pretty good, and yeah, all to go back to Bailey Shines, him and
Yeah.
Jake something. Whose contract is coming up soon, Jake something. I hope Impact re-sign him again. He's a young talent that's worth keeping on
Oh
the
yeah.
roster.
He has a lot of potential.
He does. I wish that they would push him more in a different angle. Either make him a heel or put him completely over. Stop making him come out and come close to winning and just lose, and you know what I mean, and all of that. Like I really wish they would make him piss him off and make him turn a heel, basically,
Yeah,
because he's an
more like maybe
imposing
more
character.
aggressive.
Exactly,
Oh
exactly.
yeah,
That he
he
already is.
definitely has a lot of potential for sure.
But you
So
got to give it to Bailey standing out like crazy. Even Ace Austin, in his heel fashion, acknowledged without a beyond a shadow of the doubt that he was impressed with Mike Bailey.
yeah, I think that's gonna be like Bailey and Ace Austin will be going forward as some kind of feud, which will
Yeah,
be great.
probably.
Ace
Yeah,
Austin's a great heel, so that's great.
yeah. Two great young X Division wrestlers.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. So the main event was Deonna Purrazzo. She beat Roxy, and she's the new Ring of Honor Women's Champion.
Kudos to Deonna. The best women's wrestler in the world, in my opinion, at the moment. Should be. All the titles that she's held from different companies at the same time, defending them simultaneously,
That's it. So
is
yeah,
worth a
she's
lot.
still the AAA Women's Champion, as you
Yeah,
said.
and the title was up. Like that's the
Yeah,
thing that you have to. It was a title for title match.
that's
You
right. It
know,
was a pretty cool main event. A pretty
it was a solid main event, and I think Roxy might be signed. I keep reading that WWE is interested in signing her, but today on her Instagram, she posted a picture of herself with the Impact name behind it, but not as a sign, but in the corner. You know what I mean? Like the picture was taken by Impact. It's an Impact photo.
yeah.
Usually they don't do that.
If you're
They don't
changing
do that
companies.
if you're changing companies. So I think that little girl might be signing. She might be signing with Impact.
Yeah.
She might see more potential. Although her sister is in the WWE, Cora J or something like that. Cora J, I think, is her sister or something. But I
So
think
they're
she
in,
might see more potential and more opening in the knockouts division. You know what I mean? Like
that's it. Yeah, the
more
women do get a
room.
chance to shine.
Every
And you
woman
get to
gets a
go
turn.
like right onto TV. If you're an Impact, there's no like you're in developmental. It's like, no, you're an Impact. You're gonna be on Impact TV. You're gonna be on the pay-per-views.
Yeah, you're gonna be on TV, and I find that they rotate a lot of the girls. They give girls different titles. They rotate them. You're the champion now. You're a champion. Oh, you're the tag team champion. Oh, now it's your turn. Look, they've even got Jordan Grace carrying the internet champion, the whatever that
Yeah.
other title that they created, and she defends it against guys. So it's an intergender title.
Yeah, that's a
So
cool title.
pretty
It's like the streaming title or internet content title, something like that. But it's like their
exactly.
equivalent of a TV title.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Instead of calling it TV, because TV is not the main thing anymore.
that's
It's
it.
their way of saying, whatever with TV, we're on the internet. Like, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
exactly.
Yeah. So it was a good episode. Yeah, like Impact has been really good. The guys from Ring of Honor came out, surrounded Deonna Purrazzo.
Yeah, that was at the
Uh,
end. Yeah.
had Maria get in the ring and say, "That's my title. Give that back to me." That was pretty good. That
Yeah.
belt is my belt.
So it's
And
going to be
she-
building up to like Maria trying to come for the Ring of Honor women's title.
Yeah, and Matthew Raywall got involved in it, defending Deonna against Bennett. He got in
And then he got
Bennett's
beat
face.
down.
Then he got beat down. Rich Swann and Willie Mack came out for the save, which is heading even more like it's going to be the invasion angle. Like it's not just going to be a rogue group. It might actually be Ring of Honor versus Impact, which would be a sick ass pay-per-view. Like that title as a pay-per-view would be the top notch.
I think also like the first time the Ring of Honor group attacked, Willie Mack and Rich Swann were there. So I think they're definitely going to be involved in like a match. Like those two are like going to be in this angle defending.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Bennett and Taven versus Mack and Swann. And I think Bennett and Taven are probably going to stay with the company just because Matt Taven said that we're here to stay. He grabbed the tag top.
They deserve to be in a good
in a bigger
position.
company on TV more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're so I think they might make them Impact champions in the next month or two coming in the future.
Yeah.
The way that
we'll keep our eye on that for sure.
Yeah.
So a little bit of GCW news. So they had 2 shows this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Won't go over the whole shows, but they were really good. And this upcoming, like on Saturday, they have the Hall of Fame where Lufisto's going in. On the Sunday, it's their biggest ever show. And it's on pay-per-view and also on Fight. And it's from the Hammerstein Ballroom where
in New
Raw
York
used to be, where ECW is filmed. I've actually seen a Ring of Honor show live there once. It was really cool.
It's a great venue. It's a great venue.
Yeah.
It's a place that I wish a company made it their main place to film shows. I find it's the perfect size for a crowd. It's big. It's not small. It's well lit. It's got a good indie vibe to it, from the past and everything. Kind of like the 2600 building in Philadelphia, where MLW filmed, where the ECW used to be, basically.
Definitely. Yeah. Like I'm sure AEW could afford to go there. Maybe it's a bit too small. I don't know for AEW.
Yeah.
But for GCW to be at the point where they could rent this out is huge, though. It's really good.
It is huge. It is huge. And that's what I'm saying. Maybe they could make that their base place.
Yeah.
They should launch a TV show from the Hammerstein Ballroom. And when you say Hammerstein Ballroom to wrestling fans, it goes with Game Changer Wrestling because people think of hardcore. They think of great indie shows, which is what GCW represents right now. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
That indie vibe, outsider misfit place of a bunch of collective toys, old guys, new guys, unknown guys. You know what I mean? Like, it's great. Good up and coming company. So
that's it. On the first night of the weekend, the main event, there was like a hardcore match. Alex Colon defeated Hoodfoot Mo Atlas. But there was some other crazy stuff on the show, like Ricky Morton and Too Cold Scorpio teamed up. Kevin Nash announced that he's releasing Jackknife Kush, which is going to be his own cannabis company.
Yeah.
He announced he brought out Alex Shelley, and it was like a reunion of the paparazzi from
from back in the TNA days. Yeah, that's good.
And the show was in Detroit, so that was like quite cool.
Yeah.
The next night we had two Quebecers on the show, but they both came up in a losing effort. AJ Gray beat he beat PCO, and PCO was the Extreme Champion, but that was like a title that they hadn't used for a while.
Yeah.
But this Fed is crazy for people who don't know. They have an Extreme title and an Ultraviolet title, and
Which
also
is
there's
pretty messed
also
up.
a bunch of other hardcore matches.
Yeah.
It's like
They're a
any excuse
mixture
for
of
hardcore.
exactly. They're like a mixture of wrestling and like death matches.
Yeah.
It's like it goes from one to another. It's like, oh, high flyers. Oh shit, Bob Warriors. Oh god, light tubes. You know what I mean? Like it's intense. It's really good.
Yeah.
Something for everybody, which is what's good about them, which is reminiscent of ECW and of XPW. Was it the one on the West Coast there?
Yeah. They were something with Rob Black. There's a good Dark Side of the Ring episode. Featuring
Exactly.
Rob Black.
GCW is the new XPW right now, only with more legit names.
Yeah, done
like,
well. Like done
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's like at that level now. But they're on the
Yeah.
rise for sure.
Exactly.
And
I
so
wish.
Speedball lost against this guy Tony Deppen, who's like a pretty hilarious character. He's like just gives attitude. He's like a not super athletic. He's like a heel, like a funny heel.
Always good to have on the roster.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good show. The Chicago show too. And one thing over the weekend, Matt Cardona, like Zack Ryder, the first night he beat Rhino and he proclaimed himself the ECW television champion.
Yeah, that's right. They brought out the ECW television champion. That's
Yeah.
right. That belt. Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
And Zack Ryder, he's like super heel in GCW, and they're building up to him go against Joey Janela on this Sunday at the pay-per-view. Jeff Jarrett, he hit a girl over the head, Ali Catch, who is sometimes partnered with Effie. And
Yeah.
So that's one match going into the pay-per-view. The Briscoes have an open challenge for their tag team titles, which will probably end up being someone really crazy we can't even think of right now.
It might be the House of Black.
It could be. It could be.
They would
Really
wouldn't
could be
surprise
because
me if they're the ones who
John
would show up.
Moxley is also on the show, going for
Exactly.
the defending the GCW title.
Yeah,
It's going to be
exactly.
a huge show.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch that, and we'll definitely have a review here on the show. So
Yeah.
let's go into like a little bit of WWE news here right before we end the show. NXT, it looks like Braun Breaker is starting a feud with Phantasma,
Yeah.
even though we know that
I don't know where this is gonna go.
and Braun Breaker, I'm pretty sure is going to win that feud.
Probably. And then you have Roderick Strong getting squashed again by Walter.
Yeah.
He loses the belt, which is unified with the cruiserweight title last week. And this week he gets his ass handed to him by Walter, because everybody gets their ass handed to them by Walter, basically.
Yeah.
Who's probably the only thing good about NXT, which is Imperium in my book. No diss to Roderick Strong or Pete Dunne. Basically, another guy was out there.
These guys are like, they're on their way out. Like, clearly, we can don't count them anymore almost.
Exactly. Tony D'Angelo has the picture of Pete Dunne, like he basically retired him.
In
the
he's
middle
like
of the
disrespecting him.
Yeah.
And,
So in my head, I'm like, all these guys' contracts are up. All these guys are going to AEW. All these guys are going to AEW.
No, that's it.
Basically.
It just feels like it's like a matter of time, and it feels like they're like just picking the most bizarre bookings. Like, so so Walter changes his name to Gunther, which just makes me think of the show Friends, like the guy at the coffee shop with the blonde hair.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. And is it me? Is it just me that sees this very right-wing side of the WWE of fucking around with characters and their background and going with like old school mentality visions of people? Like all the Asian people are ninjas now. They're all fucking ninjas. Walter's is Austrian, but hey, let's call him Gunter.
Yeah,
Like, is
and
his
they
name
had.
fucking
We
Gunter?
won't
What's
go
wrong with
too
his
much
walk?
into it, but I heard that like originally they had trademarked Gunther Stark, and if you look up Gunther Stark, that was like the name of a famous Nazi.
But do you see what I'm saying?
It's like, what's wrong with these people?
What's wrong with these writers? And then they have Apollo Crews walking out like he's fucking from Wakanda, talking with an accent when the dude's from Atlanta. Yo, the dude's from Atlanta. Why
No,
are you
yeah,
making it
really.
act like an African? Is this like, to me, is this like subtle racism? Is this
Even
subtle
Seamus,
racism?
like, it's not as bad because he actually is born in Ireland, but they make him dressed like he's from like the
Like,
1800s Ireland.
you know what I'm
Like
saying? And they
everyone is
even,
like so stereotyped. You're right, man. Like,
and look at Tommaso Ciampa. He shows up looking like Kratos in the fucking video game. What's the video game on PlayStation? Uh,
God of War.
God of War. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you people writing in the back, man? It's like, oh, you know what? Let's just make them all stereotypical race people. That's a great idea. That'll
That's
really
like
get
the
all the
lowest common
fans back.
denominator for sure. You know?
And the reason why I cannot stand more than 5 minutes of the WWE anymore. I just can't stand it. I can't. I can't. To even Tony D'Angelo, now he's an Italian mobster. Why? Because his
No,
name's Tony
yeah,
D'Angelo.
that's just horrible.
Well, now he's talking about little skinny and little wheezy and little easy. And I got Dewey Dewey and Tommy Two Tones. And we all know, like, what the fuck is wrong with these people writing for this show, man?
These
What the
guys are gonna
fuck?
end up showing up on SmackDown and like it's just never going to go anywhere. They're just gonna end up getting fired like 6 months later.
It's retarded. It's like total fucking bullshit. It's bullshit in a can. Sold
Yeah.
to you at a very, very high ticket price.
Oh, indeed. So we won't go into Raw because like we won't have time to go into all that. We're almost at the end of the show here. But before we go, we'll go over the Royal Rumble card so far.
Oh, which is the one Johnny Knoxville is gonna win?
Yeah, Johnny Knoxville. He's in the Royal Rumble. It
Like
would
I
be
love
crazy
Johnny
if he actually
Knoxville.
won.
I love Johnny Knoxville. And if I was Johnny Knoxville and they told me you're gonna win the Royal Rumble, I would fucking go do it.
Sure.
But as a wrestler, after everything that David Arquette went through, because he was a WCW world champion for fucking 1 week, 2 weeks, what fucking was it?
Yeah,
You
like
know what I mean? Like, oh, let's do that again. Because people don't remember that. No, forget that David Arquette's on every goddamn internet TV station telling you about the time that he did it recently. Let's come up with that idea again. But let's take Johnny Knoxville. Because who else is going to want to get thrown around in a ring by a bunch of dudes 2 times his size?
Okay, how
Knoxville
about
will
this
do it.
though? Like David Arquette, like he the only relevant thing he's done, like they've made Scream like a remake. The only chance the guy ever had to be relevant again was to crawl back to his ex-wife and beg her to make a movie with her. She
You know what I'm
doesn't need
saying?
the money.
You know what I'm saying? But actually, apparently, it's really good. So
I know,
we'll see
yeah,
about
exactly.
that.
I can't wait to see it though. It
Like,
got good ratings.
I respect David Arquette because he wanted to show people that he wanted to prove people wrong, and he went back and he became a wrestler, and he went through the rigorous training, and he does the matches. He even went through a stupid idea hardcore match with a death match, which was a
Yeah,
stupid idea. And I would have told him that's a stupid idea, dude. Getting in the ring with that dude is a stupid idea.
yeah, the
You
Nick
know?
Gage. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's he tried to come back and like show his respect for pro wrestling, which is commendable for sure.
And I wouldn't have even been mad had Impact picked him up on the roster. I
That
would have
would
been
be
like,
just
cool.
funny, man.
People are gonna watch because David Arquette's David Arquette. He's good on the mic. He's David Arquette. He's a fucking actor.
Of course,
He can
yeah,
act.
that's it. He's great on the mic. That's
And now he takes bumps. Good. I mean, I see him more just as valuable as some other guy that you got on there. You know what I mean?
sure.
Why not? Legitimately give him a contract. I think he wants to do this with his life. So why not, man? Why fucking not? Ride the wave, bro. I
He
would
has
have
great
rather they
value.
bring Arquette back in the Royal Rumble than Johnny Knoxville. It would be good if they fucked everybody over and had Knoxville in there with somebody else at the end, and number 30 comes out and it's David Arquette. And
He'd be
Arquette comes
awesome as an unannounced guest for sure.
Arquette comes in and throws him and Knoxville throw the other guy out, and it's him and Knoxville, not
At
even a
the end,
wrestler in the company in the fucking ring. Knoxville versus Arquette at WrestleMania for the title. I mean, you're on a sinking ship anyway right now. The
there you
Titanic is
go.
going down really
Try to
slowly.
squeeze as
So,
much ratings as we can get out of this before the ship
so,
completely
so
fucking sinks.
exactly. If I'm Vince McMahon and he wants to sell this goddamn thing, I'd be like, cool, dude, you want to sink the ship? Here's a great idea. you
Yeah, that's it. So
know?
yeah, the rest of the card, they got Rollins is gonna take on Reigns, which I mean, we've seen that a million times, but I don't see Rollins winning that, that's for sure.
It's here. Why am I seeing this again? Why am I seeing this? Why am I seeing this again? Because you don't want to put Reigns against Lesnar because Lesnar's gonna fucking pull him to pieces. He's
At
gonna
Royal
tear him to
Rumble, that's
shreds.
it.
I'm not dissing Roman Reigns, trying to diss him, but we're talking about Brock Lesnar here.
But they've built
We're
up
saying,
Reigns so much that like the only person that could beat him would be like Reigns, would be like
or Bobby
Brock, or maybe
Lashley.
Goldberg, or yeah, like building up Lashley. So yeah, they got Lashley against Brock officially at Royal Rumble.
Which is
That's an interesting
ex-
match, I'd say.
it's exactly what people have been asking for years. People used to ask Lashley that when he was Impact champion. Do you want to take on Brock Lesnar? And he even said it back then. I want to do it. I
I
love
think
it.
they could have made
I
this like
think
the
it's a
WrestleMania
money.
main event.
They should have. But once again, what a bunch of morons are working there. Like, we should go work there. I think it's really easy.
Well, yeah, like the common sense mistakes that they make are
It's like
it's
wrestling
mind
written.
boggling sometimes.
It's wrestling written by morons for wrestling fans, but by people who don't know nothing about wrestling. What would wrestling fans really like? Oh, hey, let's make this a love story. Or what was I sitting through about the Chad Gable and the other fucktard that's with him, and now they're gonna do an
Oh yeah,
against
next
Matt
week on Raw,
Riddle.
there's going to be an intellectual battle between Rated RKO and Alpha Academy. No one wants to see that.
Why am I watching a wrestling show to see a stupid fucking angle like that?
Are they
And
going to
then
bring out
people,
Jeff Foxworthy from Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
you know what I'm
It
saying?
really feels like they're going towards
With,
that.
dude, with all of the fucking character choices they're making right now, if you're making character choices like that, you might be a redneck.
That's it.
So Jeff Foxworthy coming out there would not surprise me, my friend. It would not surprise me at all. And then I lost my train of thought about something else that I saw there that was stupid as shit. But now I've lost it, so we're gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, well, there's always more WWE to watch. That's not a problem.
Or to not watch kids. It is
That's
not the
it.
only thing on TV.
Do your homework first at least, or go
Exactly.
outside. There,
Go outside
WWE.
and play.
That's it.
Raw's
Exactly.
on, put the control down, go outside and play.
Yeah. At least try to like skip the ads somehow or do something productive during the ads.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a big week in wrestling. We're going to watch all kinds more wrestling this week, and we'll be back with more news and more reviews right here on Pro Wrestling Tonight on IndieQuebec.com. Leave them with some words of wisdom, Magnificent Drey.
Watch indie wrestling, support your local wrestling, support your local wrestlers, give it a shot. Don't listen to the internet. Be a judge for it by yourself. Wrestle House was not the worst thing on TV. Remember, there's going to be a quiz championship on Raw.
That's right.
Take care of yourself and stay safe.
From all of us here at IndieQuebec.com, we'll see you next week.